And now with the latest business and market news, here's Jayne Edwards.
Thanks, Alan. Some fairly dire jobs data on Friday caused a sharp fall on Wall Street early in the day, with the Dow dropping by 160 points. But investors showed their resilience, buying up in the afternoon and leaving the indices only slightly in the red at the close. Official job figures for July revealed employment fell by 130,000, more than double the expected amount. The unemployment rate remained at 9.5%, confirming that demand for workers is sluggish and the recovery may be stalling. It contrasts sharply with the results of the US earnings season, in which 75% of companies in the S&P 500 have beaten expectations. Across in Europe, the IMF and EU praised Greece for its progress in recovering from the debt crisis that threatened economic collapse earlier this year. Around the world, share markets had a good week. The season of strong corporate profits helped the US to gain 2%, and the same was true of our local market. With more, here's Marcus Padley.
Well, the average rise in the stock market in August is 2.3%, and we've done most of that in the first week. The RBA left interest rates unchanged, bit of a non-event, has left some brokers telling us that interest rates won't go up again until next year, though. We saw the Morgan Stanley equities strategist tell us this week that equities will be substantially higher by the end of 2011. Thanks very much for that. But the big story was in commodities, and in particular wheat futures, which have jumped 85% from their 9-month low in June. And that's done wonders for our grain stocks. All of them up this week, and that was helped by a no premium merger between AWB and GrainCorp. The AWB also announced a small profits warning. The results season has started. We saw a headline this week saying Rio profits roar. The share price was up on the week. We saw the CEO tell us as well that the global economy was unpredictable. Here's a list of the other stocks that have results, a bit of a mixed bag of reactions. We also saw a profits warning this week from Kathmandu. We saw some bid speculation as well that Whitehaven Coal was going to be bid for, that Sigma Pharmaceuticals had found themselves another bidder, and that Nexus would be bid for despite the company denying that they'd had a bid approach. In capital raisings, we saw Gloucester Coal raise $455 million to buy an asset off MacArthur Coal, and both stocks went up. We also saw the much-anticipated $500 million asset sale by Link Energy, and that bounced their share price. And the Aston Resources $1.5 billion IPO had to be repriced after a rather frosty reception in an institutional book build. In other news, David Jones was down after a $37 million sexual harassment suit. And we also saw the Macquarie Atlas Group jump after being included in the ASX 200. As of the beginning of this week, the regulation of the stock market has passed from the ASX to ASIC. There is a rumour they're going to set up a subcommittee to stamp out Warren Buffett quotes, the scourge of our industry. Winner of the week this week is retirement village operator Avon. After a bid from the Stocklane Group, it was up 52%. And loser of the week was Kathmandu, down 20% on a profits warning.